It all started with one question. What if I actually believed that I could do all things through Christ who strengthened me? For most of my life, I saw myself as a victim of circumstance, a victim of a fatherless home, a victim of an overworked and underpaid single mom, of addiction, of ADHD, of depression, of PTSD, of abuse, of bullying, of teenage pregnancy, and of death. I looked into the mirror every day and I pitied the girl that I saw. My first interaction with the Lord was when I was 12 years old. My life collided with His Spirit like two trains destined to run into each other on the same track. That day, I was radically saved, but my identity still lied in the same circumstances that bound me in the first place. And it wasn't long before my victim mentality became a foothold for the devil to draw me back in. When I came to the end of my 11th grade year, I was called into my high school guidance office. I knew the purpose of me being there. They were going to tell me that there was no way that I could graduate next year. My lack of attendance and poor grades had finally caught up with me. That was when I first asked myself the question, what if I actually believed that I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me? That year, I beat the odds. I took almost 2 entire years worth of classes in just one. I had a 4.0 senior year, and with the rest of the class of 2010, I received my diploma. Walking across America was an idea born in my mind over 6 years ago. One that I immediately wrote off as a pipe dream. I told myself that I was a woman, that I was too young, too lazy, too weak, too overweight, and far too unworthy to accomplish such a great task. 5 months before I left for master's commission, it once again entered my mind, and I once again laughed it off. Then the question again came to my mind. What if I actually believed that I could do all things through Christ who strengthened me? No one was knocking on my door asking me to walk across America. I had to make an opportunity. So in May of 2013, I started to train for a 1,300-mile, 3-month walk from St. Petersburg, Florida to Niagara Falls, Canada. My goal was to do so much more than just walk across America and raise $13,000 for my second year at Impact Master's Commission. You see, any fool can grab a backpack, some granola bars, and a couple $100 and risk life and limb setting out on the open road. That was not what I wanted. What I wanted was to push myself to my limits, to train hard, to prove myself to the authority that God placed in my life and seek their approval. So for an entire year, I did whatever it took to make sure that I was ready for this adventure. 6 a.m. workouts, defense training, survival tactics, gear research, and creating a base team for my safety. All while being a full-time master's student. And in April of 2014, I spent my spring break testing all of my skills and equipment, doing a 110-mile practice walk. I graduated my first year at INC, and on July 7th, I took my first steps from St. Petersburg, Florida to Niagara Falls, Canada. The next 3 months challenged me in more ways than I could have ever imagined. Every morning, I would wake up in my small tent and push my 150-pound cart 20 miles. Every day, without fail, God protected and provided for me. My training and preparation were put to good use. I faced mountains and valleys, dog attacks and broken bones. I had seen more beauty than my entire life up to that moment and had never lived so constantly in such a sore, achy body. I was bored, I was tired, I was happy, I was sad. If it was not for my training, I would have been rendered useless before even making it out of Florida. Everywhere I went, people were hearing not only about what God had done in my life, but also about the discipleship program that was training me, Master's Commission. It was a year of training and 20 miles every day for 3 months that got me to one moment that I would not trade the world for. It was the moment that all the voices that said I couldn't were silenced. The moment that I took my final step from America into Canada. So now I find myself asking, what do you do as a limit pusher when you have pushed all of your limits? When you have climbed the biggest mountain you have ever conquered? What then? You descend into the valley and search for a higher mountain, all with one question in mind. What if I really believed I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me?